point this out before I keep this playing. So this at the top of Memphis right here, that's the Crosstown Concourse. I guess we'll remember that. Then they got the Valero gas station. Then they got the homicide scene, which was on Airways Highway or whatever, right there. And they got the Gospel Garden. So all four of these are significant spots in the case. So we'll keep that in mind.
Okay.
They talked to you about conspiracy and how Govan picked these two individuals. The state chooses to cherry pick a little bit here and a little bit there from each of the statements. But let me play a 5-second clip about how all this supposedly happened. I'm not saying it happened. I'm not saying Govan is involved in one way, shape, or form. But if you want to believe Cornelius Smith, the AK-47 shooter, and God knows how many other shootings he's done, then he'll talk about it.
He said Cornelius Smith, the AK-47 shooter.
I want you to listen to this.
It was one day me and Angela was out riding, and I wanted some X pills, so I went to Quay House to get the X pills from him, and Juke was over there. And when I walked in, there was one quick told Juke, this little seat right here, and mine, look, Juke was like, he done all on. First, he said, take all the phones outside, you know. He ain't say my phone, he was saying quit phone, but I passed my phone to make it feel comfortable. So, took the phones outside, and Juke was like, he hit him out of here, get him, and he got us. And I can't recall like exactly when it was, but that's what he said.
All right. So the state just told you to your face that Mr. Govan picked out two desperate people. Cornelius Smith, if you are to believe him, says in his statement, I just happened to be going.
Man, Hernandez Govan looked guilty in the mud. I guess there ain't no way not to look guilty in jail. You know what I'm saying? Or
Right.
in court.
Yeah, that nigga look pissed off. He mad that he even involved, bro. Because he like, damn, I was just supposed to be the
Be the
nigga.
middleman.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Getting threw my name in the mix. Now I'm all caught up in this shit.
Yeah. Because Cornelius Smith put him in there. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? He the
Yep.
one who put his name in.
My Quet's house, Govan's house, to buy some ecstasy pills with my girlfriend. Juke happened to be there. He doesn't say Quet said a word. Juke says there's a hate on everybody, and I got you, and Juke says, take the phones outside while I talk to you. I'm assuming you believe any of that's true. And the reason I ask you if you think any of that's true is the police never went to question Juke, aka Anthony Mims, or Yogati, or any of the people with CMG. Never once even tried to do an interview. So this is a
So he's saying that the police never questioned Big Juck or anybody at CMG either.
plain as day. Juke said do it. Quet didn't say anything. Quet lives in the poorest part of Memphis in Orange Mound, sells a few ecstasy pills to make a living, and hustles with some sports gambling. He's a nobody, and that's why I asked you about the Peters. He's a throwaway that they can blame. Why did they not talk to Juke or anybody else with CMG? Ever. Now, Juke ended up getting killed in 2024, 2.5 years after the fact. Never arrested, never talked to, never interviewed, never pursued, never surveilled, nothing.
This sounds like he got a good case to win.
It sound like his lawyer
Yeah.
doing his goddamn job.
Uh, it does sound like he has a decent case, man. I'm gonna keep it real because he's basically saying that he's just a small time drug dealer. You know, he wasn't the one who was actually. You got to prove he's the middleman. What proof do you have?
And
Except for a
they
guy.
like, bro, they don't even have him talking to nobody over there.
Yep. And they don't have him exactly. That was probably the biggest point. You're right. They don't have him talking to anybody over there at CMG, and they don't have him ever talking to Juke recorded or anything. They just going off the word of Cornelius Smith, and
That's all
he's a
they
guy
got.
who's got life. You know what I'm saying?
All they got. That's all they got.
Damn. Yeah. He might. Yeah. Y'all. Yeah. Damn. This is crazy.
And then it's like, how credible is Cornelius Smith gonna hold up in court when he's a drug addict and now convicted murderer?
Yeah.
I mean,
And
his credibility still gonna be held up because it's the same case, but As far as they not finna, you can't bring that up in court. As far as his conviction or nothing. So that's gonna be triggered. But what's gonna make the whole shit not stick is they gonna have to prove that he gave them some money. He told them without him saying, "Oh, Straight Drop told me he said this." Because I think his whole thing was like he was just brought along for the money.
Yeah. No, that's what he was saying, but he was definitely a shooter. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I'm saying like you could be a shooter, like, hey, like, let's say like I got some shit like that up, and I just find two little dumb niggas and tell them to do it. And I tell them, oh yeah, what you said they gonna pay me? Whole time he never said nothing.
That's true. Now, I wonder if they have, I'm going to let this play, but I wonder if they have any evidence that he paid them.
I heard he didn't get paid. That's why he tell him.
Facts.
Ah,
Facts.
The judge also told you, when you assess credibility, you need to look at how well you remember this thing. Cornelius Smith cannot even tell you when he was propositioned to go kill somebody. The shooting happened in November 17, 2021. And the best the police can say is that this meeting, where just randomly happened, as Cornelius himself has said, was sometime between August and September, 3 months prior to the shooting taking place. 3 months. He will tell you there's no plan. All he was told by Jerk was there's a price on their heads. And that's kind of funny because when the cops, if they testify honestly, will tell you there have been multiple attempts on Mr. Dolph's life. Twice in Charlotte by other folks and once in Los Angeles. Everybody in Memphis knew there was a price on their head because there was a war between PRE and CMG. They were shooting each other. Yo Gotti's car was shot up here. The song 100 Shots came up after one of these things.
that's an interesting fact about Yo Gotti's car getting shot up. You know, there wasn't a lot of publicity about that.
Yeah, I don't never remember hearing his car got shot.
I ain't
Yeah,
never heard that either.
I don't remember hearing that either.
There's a rivalry going on and people have been shooting. The police went through this. They know this. They also pulled YouTube videos where people are openly threatening to kill Dolph. It's in their slideshow. You know what they call their investigation? Operation Cookie Monster. That's how tasteful this whole thing has gotten with these folks.
Operation Cookie Monster is wild.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I'm sorry, my arms are shaking because I'm so furious that we're here as far as the trial goes. So the other thing the government hasn't told you when we talk about first impressions is, for weeks prior to the November 17, 2021 shooting, nobody called Govan, talked to him, did anything, be it Justin Johnson or Cornelius Smith. What Cornelius will tell you, which the government didn't tell you, is that morning, it was Cornelius's daughter's birthday. But he gets a call from Justin Johnson that says, I got a car, let's go do something. They get in the car and they start driving around, just looking for somebody to kill. They just happened to see Young Dolph's car going by.
This is a fact.
And they opened fire.
Yep.
And they killed him. And the interesting thing is, even though nobody communicated with Govan for weeks prior to this, they didn't talk to him that morning. He didn't help him get the car. He didn't help him escape. He didn't tell him what to do. He didn't tell him where to go. He didn't do anything. It was a spontaneous issue between two young men that morning. They shot him. And you know why there's no plan? Because they just start calling random people after the shooting. They don't call Govan. They have to go someplace to get bandaged up as far as that goes. The people that help them, never been charged as accessories to anything. They then get rid of whatever they need to get rid of.
Now, the people that helped him, those were like Trula Mafia cats, right?
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure. I
one,
think you talking about because Dolph brother did hit him. So I think he's talking about like a hood doctor, like where you go where you don't got to go to the hospital to get bandaged up.
okay. I thought, because remember when the suspects got arrested, one of the guy's brother, so Justin Johnson's brother got arrested too. Then another guy got arrested. They were all in that Trula Mafia pick or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So I thought they were talking about they helped
Yeah,
him.
them is probably some of the people that helped him get rid of the evidence,
Yeah,
But
like the
obviously they
weapons
were
and stuff.
charged. He said them people was never charged.
Yeah.
that's true. Huh.
They left the car across the street from Govan's house on the middle of the street, in front of the street. So if there's some master plan, that may be one of the dumbest plans you could possibly have if you're going to kill the most important person, the most famous person in Memphis. as far as that goes. Again, there were no phone contacts for weeks prior to the shooting, especially in the morning. Govan wouldn't know that the Mercedes was used. The only way anybody finds out is social media blows up right away, and multiple people start calling Justin Johnson, including Govan, who knows him, because the word's out that Justin may have done this. Trayon Ingram is another word you'll hear. He actually carjacked the white Mercedes and then gave it to these gentlemen to use in the shooting. He's not charged in this case. He's not even charged with carjacking. But he happened to pick up another murder right after this happened, and so now he's in custody for the other murder that he committed.
Damn. So is that guy telling too, the Trayon Jackson guy? It sounds like because the lawyer said you're gonna hear from him, but he's like he also caught another body after this situation, and he's the guy who carjacked the car.
He might.
That's crazy.
He might be.
The only thing is, like, the car was at that nigga house. The
Yeah.
only thing that got tying him to this shit right now is that they left the car at that nigga house. That don't mean he had shit to do with that murder.
Right. And that's what he's saying. He like they drove the car and left it right there. They ain't had nothing to do with Govan.
That's true. Now what? Now Govan got to explain why there's a stolen car found on his property, though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They probably didn't, and they probably charged him with murder for it. They will do that to you.
Yeah, especially if it's a murder vehicle. You know what I'm saying? That's pretty
Like,
crazy.
that's the one thing. They didn't park it on his property. They parked it across the street from the house.
And then that's what he was saying earlier. He like, dog, this Govan is a nobody. They trying to it's easy for them to throw this murder off on him. That's what they trying to do. That's why they parked the car across the street from his house. Like, I ain't gonna lie, the lawyer doing his job, bro.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, my better senses is saying that's all cap and it's just a lawyer doing that because it sounds good. It'll probably work. You know what I'm saying?
And my senses is they probably just like, man, I know this nigga. We can leave it right here. He bucked. He ain't gonna snitch. And, you know.
Yeah.
Right.
And he's an older cat. But
And
they got to prove. I got to see where they can prove that he actually intended to pay them too, or
oh, the
that he
big homie
received
live
money.
right here. We can park the car over here by the big homie house and come back and get it.
Yeah, yeah. I can see that.
First impressions, you would have wanted to know that. Let me. I thought about going over at least one of Cornelius's statements in his life, but I think it's just a little too much. We would be here for about 2 hours going through everything that he said has been inconsistent, bald-faced lies. In fact, you know how somebody's lying? Because in his first interview, that lasted a little over an hour, 32 times he told the police, trust me, I promise, I swear to God, I wouldn't lie to you. 32 times he says that before answering one of his questions on one of his first interviews after he's caught. And after he's caught, his girlfriend gets questioned because they ran down the license plate numbers, all that stuff with the cars. She lies through her teeth on December 14th of 2021, says, I don't know nothing about nothing. Because Cornelius had talked to her and tried to make up a false alibi. See, where's the plan in all this? See, if I have a plan to go kill somebody, we have a place to go dig something far away. I have people that can cover for me as an alibi. I don't make random phone calls. And so Angela, who knew nothing about this, according to her, picks them up at the location where they're getting bandaged up for being shot, drives them around town, helps them out. Of course, she's not charged. She initially lies and denies everything. The police then come back and said, we're going to charge you if you don't tell us the truth. And so on the 17th of December, 3 days later, she comes back. But what the police don't know at that time is Mr. Cornelius Smith has called 4 of his family members to reach out to Angela to get the story straight. Because he keeps saying on the jail phone calls, find out what she said, find out what she said, find out what she said. And then on the 17th, it comes back, and they're talking to her. And she says, well, we went over to that house sometime in the past, just like we talked about. She doesn't know anybody. She said, I can't think of his name. And the interesting part is, the officers say, is it somebody named Q? And then she says, oh yeah, it's Quet. Remember the phrase Bobby Carter that they mentioned? Bobby Carter also lives on Bradley Avenue. They're good friends with Cornelius Smith. They buy pills together and do ecstasy pills together. And the other thing Angela Smith says is, Govan brought us the phone after the fact. How is that part of any plan or anything else? They called and said, give me a phone. The interesting thing about that is if it's true and you believe her, there would be fingerprints on the car. The police fingerprinted it, DNA that did everything. Cornelius' fingerprints are there. Treon Ingram's fingerprints are there. Kirsten Garner, the other guy that worked with Treon to steal the car, his fingerprints are there. There's DNA in there. There's blood in there. But nothing with regards to Govan.
What y'all think about that, man? So Hernandez Govan, Quete, whatever. It looks like none of his DNA, his fingerprints, nothing is in that
No,
car either.
of course it wasn't. He
But he
wasn't
was at
there.
his house.
Yeah, he
Uh,
wasn't there.
so
But they were saying his homie lived there too, at another house right there.
yeah. So does
So they
that
could have left it there.
do you think that eliminates the car as a liable piece of evidence for him being involved in the shooting in this case?
No, we know he's not involved in the shooting. What they trying to say is he's responsible for facilitating the shooting.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
The girl said he bought him a phone, but they could have just asked him to borrow a phone.
Yeah, he don't really got no. He don't really, from what I'm hearing right now, bro. He don't really got everything that's against Dovan is circumstantial.
Like it's no text messages saying, "Oh, we this," and like it's none of this is concrete evidence.
None of this. None of this is con.
Everything is snitches trying to. Oh, if any, you don't know, they could all be like, if anything bad, blame Quet.
yeah.
Remember that, bitch. If they get you, say Quet this, and
That's
get
true.
me that. We don't know if they got into it with Quet.
That's
We
true.
ain't sure what's going on. There's just enough for doubt, and doubt is enough for not
They
guilty.
found the car 3 days after the shooting took place across the street from Mr. Govan's house. Has nothing to do with him, didn't touch it. So if he didn't do that, how does he open the door? And frankly, how did he get the keys to open the door? See, Cornelius doesn't give you the details. Did they lock the car after we left? Where were the keys? He doesn't know about any of that stuff. So tell me how Mr. Govan got into the car and how he did it so beautifully, being dumb enough to take the murder car of one of the most famous people and say, let's just park it across the street, and then somehow magically wiped his prints, DNA, hair, anything out of that car while he's looking for the phone. You know why that is? Because he didn't do it. What you're going to hear from Treon Ingram is Treon Ingram, when he stole the car, left his backpack, his wallet, and some other things in the car. And
Bruh.
Jesse Johnson didn't get that. You will hear that from Treon Ingram's own statement with regards to that car. This is why I talk about first impressions, because they're all.
So dude carjacked the car and left his ID and wallet in the car and book bag.
Come on, man.
God dang, bruh.
I ain't gonna lie, niggas be having strikers nowadays, bro. Them niggas be living in them strikers, bro.
Yeah.
But if it's a hot car, it's gonna be used in a murder. Dog, I would triple. Wouldn't you triple check the back seat?
It probably wasn't used for a murder at first. It probably was just a striker. They wasn't going to murder. They was going to go rob some niggas, bro. That was
So
what they were
it
saying. They
turned,
woke up with robbery on their mind,
right.
singed off, and they allegedly whatever smoked them.
Yeah. Then it turned into a murder weapon because, like you said, it was a spontaneous killing, bro. They just so happened to see, and you know, Dolph always got
The
that
same cars.
exactly. Every car he got is wrapped the same way.
Camouflage with the
Come on.
blue and,
So
and,
as
and
soon as
green.
they say, nigga, that's Dolph.
Yep.
Go get him. And then it turns into a. But it's the same thing that happened in Chicago with the dude that killed Dirk brother. The
Oh
one
yeah.
Dirk
Uh,
sent to go get the get back. I can't remember the dude name that ended up dying.
something Mac. Stephon Mac or something,
Stephon
right?
Mark.
Yep.
Yeah. The people that killed him, they left drinks cups that they was drinking out of in the car, and one of them left his cell phone in the car.
He tripping, dog. Left his cell
I
phone.
don't know what's up with people going out here doing hits and then leaving all the evidence in the car, man. It's crazy.
That's crazy, bro. That's crazy.
Niggas don't do that shit on purpose. Niggas are smart, bro.
Moving too
I think
fast.
about it, bro. We all grew up together and went to school together, bro. Everybody wasn't smart in class, nigga.
Facts.
True. Facts.
Some niggas is still dumb.
Right now to this day.
Fuck, I know niggas that's thugs now that was in special ed.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that happens a lot,
Nah, that's
man.
true. I definitely know some of them too.
Yeah, that happens a lot, bro.
Nigga cool, he hit hard as a bitch. He can't think. How you gonna whoever did that shit probably just slow.
Yeah.
Niggas don't be thinking, bro. Some niggas can't think.
Always could be misleading, and in this case, patently false. When you cherry pick the evidence that you want to tell you, and then have the cameras rolling on a high-profile case to pressure you to commit a verdict of guilty is patently unfair. And just because he's a nobody and doesn't have money, like Dottie or Jook, his brother, who was never even questioned or charged, he's the fall guy on all this stuff. He didn't do anything, even if you believe Cornelius.
This lawyer out here working, ain't he?
This lawyer about to get his ass smoked.
You talk about by throwing Jook's name in there and Gotti's name. They like, well, we can't have this connected to us. You know what I'm saying? They might have to get rid of this. You know what
I
I'm
heard that shit. I'm like, nigga, you saying some crazy shit for the defense.
saying?
I ain't gonna lie, that's how Draco got out playing them.
I just
But a
happened
lawyer
to show
did
up
it.
there and he said, hey, this little C. Jook took over and started doing all the talking. Do you think that man could pay somebody $100,000 and you'd say, yeah, he's good for it. I don't need any validation. He's good for it. And interestingly enough, Cornelius' story also changes along with Angela's, because initially we were supposed to be paid $1.5 million. Then after another interview, it became $1 million. Then it became $500,000. Then it became $100,000. Then it became, we're going to split $100,000 between me and Justin Johnson. Then it became somebody gave me $50,000 in a brown paper bag. Then it became, oh no, I'm wrong about that. It was after I was arrested. Somebody gave my lawyer.
So they're saying that Cornelius Smith said that the original bounty was $1 million, then he dropped it to 500,000, then 200,000,
I
then
thought it was
100.
5 million, then a million, then 500.
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that.
It started off crazy large, and now we down to $50,000 in a brown paper bag. You know what I'm saying?
It was lower than that with the 36 though.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't
That's
think
cr-
they got nothing but $800 from what I seen.
yeah, I don't think they got nothing either, man. I heard they didn't get anything, man. They even tried to get their lawyers paid for, but then that got pulled away because CMG didn't want to be connected to it.
Right.
Bro, that's like, nigga, if I got some money on the nigga head, I'm this big boss. And some random niggas cross town smoke them. Nigga, I didn't tell you to smoke them for money, nigga. I don't even know you.
Facts, yo.
I'm not paying you. Thanks. I didn't
Facts.
stop to smoke them.
Yeah, because you hot. You already hot. All you gonna do is get me hot and have me sitting in the cell next to
Nigga, I
you. Nah,
never
bro.
came to you with no money on this nigga head, bro. You just was listening to YouTube. Stupid.
That's what it seemed
We
like,
don't
bro.
know if Hernandez Govan and them was at the motherfucking cookout the summer before, just hypothetically talking. Man, I heard he got this, and these niggas done really went and smoked him. Like, man, Govan told us last summer at the cookout that Dolph had got 5 million on his head right now, so we killed him.
There's an episode of The Sopranos that something like that happens, and it's hilarious to see because once they pulled off the shooting, they was like stuck, like snap. That wasn't the. We thought we was
Like,
gonna get
nigga, I
paid.
was just fucking talking in the barbershop, dumbass.
Facts, facts.
$38,000 in a bag.
38,000 in the bag. That's what he
That's how
said.
many times the story has shifted as far as that goes. But the one thing that he does say is after I got the money from Mr. Jook's people, it was understood that he was on that team. Again, Jook never arrested, never talked to, even though he says that's where the money's coming from. That guy doesn't have $1 million or $100,000 or anything like that. I may walk around wearing fancy ties, but he's indigent. The judge has found that. I'm here to help him because people that are labeled as nobodies, I will not tolerate it. He needs to be thoughtful. He is your peer. We need to do this right. Mr. Govan,
So he
stand up.
came pro bono.
So is that what he said? He's fighting for him pro bono?
Well, pretty much. He just said he don't have no money. I can't
Now,
even help him.
okay. Now the theories would say, Well, he got to get him a free lawyer because, Gotti and CMG can't be connected to this, dog. They can't be in no way
Bro,
connected.
but apparently they paid for the snitches lawyer. So
Yeah,
why would they not pay? Oh, that lawyer is breaking their ass. So the lawyer just said if the snitches Cornelius Smith lawyer got $36,000 supposedly from Juke's people, right?
yeah, that was the rumor.
No, this is factual that came out in court. This is what happened. Why am I here? And Hernandez Govan is supposed to be the mastermind, the head with the money. Why am I here fighting for him pro bono? Why didn't I get a magic paper bag?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's what the lawyer is saying.
And
That's
he's
basically
not. And Govan ain't snitching.
that's true. That's
Reasonable
true.
doubt is found.
That's all he creating. He just creating doubt, doubt, doubt.
Exactly, exactly. He's just trying to paint that picture.
Hold your head up high. Mr. Govan matters. You can't do this to people just for political gain because you gotta solve a crime because somebody famous died. It's just wrong. You can
He looked like he tried to solve a crime because somebody famous died. Look at his head. He looks salty as a bitch. He like, damn.
This is probably the oldest I've seen him look. You know what I'm saying? He looked real old up in here, man. I'm gonna keep it
Hey,
real. You know,
fighting for your life to do that to you, man. That nigga sick. He ass tight. He don't know what's gonna happen to him.
he looking crazy because when he was on the streets, he looked like, maybe he does sell a little something. You know what I'm saying? He got a little. But nah, man, he looking bad, man. It's
He
just,
looked darker and all that, balder.
yeah. And that's crazy, man. So his daughter lost her life in this situation.
Yeah.
This is crazy. This is a crazy whole. I, this is supposed to be the end of it as far as the legal system goes, but we'll see.